Welcome back to the Bluechip Breakdown, everybody. Vols fans and Florida State fans, I am your host, Bull. We are here to see Onis Konanbanny announce his college decision between Tennessee and Florida State. It's set to kick off at about 12:30. We have everything up. We're just waiting on that to go live. As soon as it does, we're going to take y'all straight on over to it. As always, y'all, please make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. Huge shout out to everybody. We're up to 6,000 subs, which is just big for us. We just started this thing about like a year ago, maybe like a year and a half, whatever, but the support has been awesome. And we want to get everyone that has been donating to our Cash App, everyone that has been a member of our channel or of our Patreon to join us on some live streams on Saturdays. So y'all make sure to look down in the description below, and there will be a link to our job form. It's very easy. It's a quick little, like questionnaire. It's not a whole lot of questions. I think it's like 4 or 5, but we want for y'all to sign up so that y'all can join us. It's first come, first serve. We will be going live pregame and postgame. So y'all can, join us on either one of those, and you can join, multiple times. Okay. So let's just keep that in mind. But again, thank y'all so much for all of the support. And if you would like to become a member and help to support this channel, you can do so by clicking the join button just below this video. You will get the exclusive content that we cannot share on this side of YouTube. You can also donate as little as $1 to our Cash App. That's an easy way just to get on that list of, people who want to join us on those live streams. Just $1. If you just donate right there, scan that QR code in the top right-hand corner with your smartphone. If you're watching from your smartphone, again, the link will be down below. And also a huge shout out to everyone that is on Patreon. Y'all can see some of the same things that the members see on the Patreon. It's also a really good way for us to kind of interact and talk with each other, things like that. So now that all that's out the way, I want to talk about Onis. Okay, now all the way up to 12:30, we will be talking primarily Tennessee football stuff, but it's going to be mostly pertaining to Onis Konanbanny. The first thing that I want to say is I did a little bit of research, and it's kind of like a surface level understanding of everything that he's been through. He was born in France, and then he moved to the UK. He was raised in the UK, and he started playing American football in secondary school. So over there, secondary school is basically like middle school and high school. I don't know at what point he started, playing football, but I think that he has not played for very long. Now, he does end up moving to the States. He comes down to Georgia, and he's attending a boarding school for like 2 years. Then he moves on up to South Carolina, which is where he's at currently. Now, again, that's all surface level stuff, and I just feel like there's a lot more to his story, and I can't wait for that to come out. He's a player that I think, ESPN and some playoff situations or big game situations, national championship situations, we'll probably have some stories on that to go a little bit more in depth. But I love the fact that he seems like such a really good kid. And I know that, for us as Tennessee Volunteers, we've done a phenomenal job of going out there and getting the right types of people off the field. So I think that he is one of those guys. Now, let's pull up his profile right here from On3. That's what we like to pay attention to. And you can see that he's got good size, about 6'1", 175 pounds. I think he's a little bit bigger than that. But again, he is in high school at Columbia, South Carolina. And, he is a stud. I think that for a player that has just started playing football, he looks very natural at the cornerback position. So let's take a look at our breakdown of his profile. Again, 6'1", 175 pounds. He is, he's got a whole lot of length and size. He looks bigger than that, but I think that he can most definitely play this position at a really, really high level. He's a explosive athlete. All of his movements, things like that, he's just like boom, boom. So he's very twitchy. You need that playing in the secondary on the college level, talking about Power 4 level. But, I am just impressed with the sort of an athlete that he is. He also has excellent footwork. And we're going to take a look at some of his clips here in just a second. But, man, his footwork is absolutely phenomenal. He does a really good job of mirroring the wide receivers or whoever he's guarding. And then, he plays with 100% effort. He is a dog. He wants to make plays. And that's something that I feel like is getting more and more rare in today's, age of football. It's just not a whole lot of that. It's a little bit more Hollywood stuff. But he's one of those old school, go to work, we are about to get this stuff done. And, I could not be happier if we can end up landing on this. But let's take a quick look right here at some of his clips, okay? Because y'all can see what I'm talking about. Boom, shot out of a cannon right there. And I'm not going to go too far in depth with the breakdown because if he does commit to Tennessee, y'all already know I'm going to have his full film breakdown out for y'all. But, man, I mean, he is beautiful in coverage. Like we talked about, very, very explosive, very twitchy. I think he has great straight line speed, does a really nice job of getting off of blocks and all that. I think that just in coverage, whether he's playing up at the line of scrimmage in press man coverage, looks very natural there. But then off of the ball, his back pedal is one of the best that I've seen. And again, for him to be so new to playing this sport, I think that his upside is absolutely tremendous. And, he also likes to thump you whenever it's time to hit. So he's a player that, I feel like whoever does end up landing Onis should be very, very excited about. And we do have a poll up. Y'all can definitely vote on that. It's just asking who will Onis select, and it's down between Florida State and Tennessee, obviously. Right now, we have 98% in for the Vols, and then we have 2% in for Florida State. We'll see what happens. I know that he really did like Florida State. Now, he's visited Tennessee the most. I want to say he's visited us like 5 times. I think he's visited Florida State maybe twice. It might just be once. Either way, I know that coming out his first visit to Tennessee, he was really, really high. And then it's kind of like the same thing happened coming out of his visit to Florida State. But everybody in the country wants him. I believe he has like over 40 offers. So with 24/7 Sports, I think he's only a 3-star, but with On3, he is a 4-star. I think he's a lot closer to that 4-star caliber. But I think that, maybe 24/7 Sports has him as a 3-star just because he is still raw. That's, in my opinion, I think that's a good thing because you can just kind of build off of a really good foundation. So, he's going to be a very, very good one. Let's take a look at who we got right here inside of the chat. Right here, we've got D. Taylor says that Onis is a Vol. Go Big Orange. I would tend to agree with that. Right here, Cayman Mickler. Cayman Mickler says, go Vols. Love to see it. We've got Jonah Bernard says, hello from Greenville, Tennessee. What's going on out there? I know some of y'all might be on y'all's lunch breaks, things like that. I hope that y'all having a great Friday. I hope that y'all have a phenomenal weekend. I think that us as Tennessee Volunteer fans, or even as Florida State fans, if you land on us, the weekend just gets that much better. Right here, we've got Wesley Spears says, let's go Vols. Need him in the boat today, for sure. And it's just me, UT, who is a member of the channel. Detailer, I did not mention that, but is also a member of the channel. Thank y'all so much for y'all's membership and support of this channel. So it's just me says, my man has the best name in the game, especially for the position. Yeah, man, I love that name, Onis. That's one of my, I think that might be the first time that I've ever actually heard that name, Onis. Team Junior, what's going on, dog? Another member of the channel says, come on, okay. Come on home, bro. Yes, sir. I think he meant to say, come on, Onis. G White, what's going on? G White, another member and friend of the channel says, the onus is on Konanbanny to come to Rocky Top. Let's go. I like that. I like that play on words. Right here we have Daniel O'Mary says, we ready? Okay. Daniel, are you a Vol fan or are you a Florida State fan? Let us know. And then we've got G8 City Blue Devil says, thanks for top-notch recruiting news. Go Big Orange. Thank you for that. We do the best that we can over here. And A Gibby 305. Oh, 305, man. I wonder if you're from Dade County. That's like my second home. I absolutely love Miami. He says Onis will be putting on an orange hat today. Go Big Orange. I believe it. What's up, Timmy G? This is a friend of the channel. This is my dog, Timmy G. Says go Big Orange. You already know. And right here we also have Daniel O'Mary saying all Vol. All right, so we got that out of the way. Now I want to take a look at a couple more things just because there's a few other things we can talk about. Let's pull this up right here. This is our big board. This is the same one that we looked at last week. Nothing's really changed right here. And usually on Fridays, y'all know that we will update our big board. But, today we have Onis. So, we're going to pretty much do some of that in today's video. But again, it's really not too many updates with it. But y'all can see right here up under expected commits, Onis Konanbanny is the only one left that we are expecting. Now, I do feel like throughout the season, we're going to try to identify some more players. Okay, and I'm talking about Tennessee, obviously. But I think that we will try to go out and identify some more players, especially running back, I think, and also defensive tackle. And we've got two of them over here up under possible commits. Now, Ty Jackson up at the top. I'm not sure if we'll take any more linebackers in this class, but I feel like if he wants to come to Tennessee, I think that we will take him. Okay, I think we'll make room for him just because you don't turn down that type of talent. He is a stud, but we'll see what happens with that throughout the entire process. It sounds like he has been trying to get a visit scheduled up to Knoxville at some point in the fall to take in one of our games at home. Now, the next one's going to be Andrew Maddox, and he's a 4-star defensive tackle, I believe is what he's going to end up playing. We still need to add some more defensive tackle bodies. Would love if we could add him. He's currently committed to Ole Miss. He's another one. He's going to have to come up on. He's going to have to come up on campus before we feel like anything is real there. But I would expect that we can get him up for sure. I mean, why wouldn't you want to come play really any position at Tennessee, but especially up front? Our defensive line has been wreaking havoc, I feel like, for years. We've done a really good job of getting in kind of like lower caliber talent. A lot of times folks will just look at, hey, how many NFL players do you have? Well, I mean, if you look at a team like Georgia, how difficult is it to take guys that are already projected to be first rounders and send them there, right? I mean, like they've got so many 5-stars that they've sent to the league. I don't think that they're necessarily developing their talent as well as Tennessee is, because Tennessee's taking guys that are underrated, or at least we have been 3-stars, 4-stars, and now that we're getting in some higher caliber talent, I think that we will be able to land, especially, again, on that defensive line, pretty much where we want. We should be able to go out and hand select, kind of like Coach Former did back in the day. I think we're getting to that. We're very, very close, all depending on what we do this season. So if we can't get, Andrew Maddox, I think that we will be in the transfer portal to add another defensive tackle body. We'll talk more about that in another video. Next, we have D. Morris, who is an athlete. He is from Tennessee, currently committed to USC. Now, we want him to play running back. He's a smaller guy, kind of more like that scat back, but he's really, really good. I think his game is so versatile. He has to come up on campus as well before we feel like that one's real. And I know that maybe some of y'all have heard that Justin Baker, who is committed to us to play running back, he did take a visit to North Carolina. We didn't know about that. We just didn't say anything because it hadn't been out there just yet. But now that it is, I can speak on it. I think that Justin will be in this class. He loves Tennessee. His family loves Tennessee. But you never really know until it's all said and done. Either way, I think that if Justin does, for whatever reason, end up flipping somewhere else, then we're going to have to go out. And I wouldn't even say reach for a running back, but we're definitely going to have to go to the transfer portal. So, we'll be watching that one closely. I think that out of all the players, obviously outside of Onis, who we definitely need inside of this class, running back is the one that I'm looking at, man. Like, we've got to find somebody else. We've got to find it. I would say at least one more player, but I don't think that will be an issue, man. And, these kids' senior seasons, you never know what's going to happen. Arion Carter is a perfect example of that. He played running back, then he switches on over to linebacker, and all of a sudden, I mean, he's got offers from everybody. So the same thing could happen on the flip side of it. Someone, maybe playing a different position, moves on over to running back. All of a sudden, everyone wants him. Hopefully, Tennessee can close on those sorts of players. Now, let's take a look right here. Okay, so this is our 2025 cornerback room. Now, we do think that Onis will end up playing cornerback for us, but he could also play safety. I said before that I think he's primarily corner, but the more that I'm watching him, the more that I think, yeah, he could play safety for us. We'll take a look at the safety room here in just a second. But everyone that's got the, that red, it's going to say R something. So it might say R senior. That means that they are going to be a redshirt senior, either that they have already redshirted, or I think that this season they will redshirt. Again, this is how this room is going to look in 2025, not this season, but whenever Onis comes up on campus. So everyone with the yellow star next to their name are players that I believe could end up going on to the NFL after this season or before this season. So, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 players that I feel like in 2026 could end up leaving us, some of them early to go on to the NFL draft. If that happens, if everyone does leave us, obviously we're going to be very shorthanded at this position, but that's a good thing. You want for your players to be getting drafted. That's going to help us go out and get more and more players, whether it's via transfer portal or from high school. So let's just keep that in mind. But this room looks pretty solid at this point. Okay, it looks good. Now, y'all can see for the true freshmen, we would potentially have 4 cornerbacks inside of this room that are true freshmen, if we do add Onis. So that looks pretty good. I think that we've got some good-looking sophomores. And I do also have the star players inside of this room because they are pretty much cornerbacks. They're kind of like a cornerback safety hybrid. But I have them inside of this room just because some of these players that we have as true freshmen coming in for 2025, I believe, will end up playing at the star position. So, who would you put there? I think the Onis is one that could most definitely do it. We've seen him playing some slot inside of his high school film. I think all these guys could definitely do it. So who knows what happens with that? But I feel like our need, and that need is more for the 2026 class, but our need would be anywhere from 2 to 4 cornerbacks that, I think that we would have to add. But, I could most definitely see Onis fitting into this room, obviously, with no question. Now, if you look at this safety room for 2025, it looks a whole lot lighter. Now, we could add Onis over here just because I think that he has really good size, and I can see him doing this. Now, you're seeing up at the top, all those seniors, those are guys that I think could end up going pro just depending on what happens in 2024 after this year. So they might not even be on this list. And then, just talking about after the 2025 season, heading into 2026, I think that John Slaughter is a player that could end up going pro. So this room just gets a lot lighter this is a room that we need to add a lot of bodies in. So I can see some of the players that we have coming in as cornerbacks maybe making a transition on over here just to give us a little bit more depth. I feel like we'll definitely have to go to the transfer portal, especially if we're having people going on to the NFL. Now, let's get back to some more of these chats because I know I just said a whole lot, but let's see what we got going on right here with everyone else. So we've got Robert Duncan says, let's go Vols, bring Onis home. Love that, love that. Corey Aldridge, what's going on? Corey says, it's great to be a Tennessee Vol. 24 year of the Vol. 24 is the year of the Vol. Okay, I love it. I think so for sure. G. White says, so important to get guys with the right mindset, IQ, and understanding of the game. No doubt about that. I think that this staff has been doing a phenomenal job of just finding the right sorts of guys, man. That is huge. Right here we have it's just me. UT says, Bull, what's the latest on your boy Baker? I heard he was taking visits. Yeah, so I'm glad that you did bring that up. And yeah, I mean, obviously we just talked about it. But yeah, I think that he's solid. You know what I mean? I think that he just loves Tennessee. You always see him with his orange, Tennessee stuff on. Not quite sure why he takes that visit. What I feel like a lot of college football fans need to start to understand is that this is really moving a lot closer to the NFL model now with everything. I mean, just how, as far as the depth chart, as far as how you're rotating players in, how you kind of handle the whole off season with the workload. But then also, I mean, you're going to, if someone's offering you something that, you say, okay, this might be a little bit better in some aspects than what the school I'm currently about to go to is offering me, you're going to entertain it. Like you're going to take those visits because all these players are essentially free agents. So I think that maybe he was just doing his due diligence with all of that. But I don't think that it's any cause for concern by any means because I will continue to tell y'all they love Tennessee. I'm talking about him and his entire family. They absolutely love Tennessee. I had an opportunity to talk with his father, for maybe 30 or 40 minutes a couple of weeks ago and just talking about this entire class, talking about everything that Coach Heupel's doing, the whole staff. They really like Coach Sims. So, I mean, I think that he's going to be coming on home. I don't feel like it's too much of a cause for concern. Let me get to some more right here. Okay, so this is another one from It's Just Me. UT says, dang, sorry, I was behind a little bit. Okay, yeah, now it's all good just because I know that some people will be coming in a little bit late. We want to make sure that everyone can just kind of be caught up to speed with what we got going on. So no problem there. We've got Ken Doghouse Music says we need a guy like him for sure. Yeah, I mean, I think that he's another one, man, that just I know that we keep on talking about the off the field stuff, but sometimes whenever you maybe have gone through some things that could be bigger than football, in those moments, like whenever it's a critical moment, right? It's a playoff game or it's a big rivalry game, and it's coming down to, hey, this is a final play, which we will actually see in his film once that film breakdown does come out if he does commit. But it's like your heart rate just slows down because you've seen bigger things and it doesn't really get to you. I think that that's really big to go out and find players like that are also really good people. You can just tell. I mean, at least he seems like it, right? I've never met him, but he seems like he's a really, really good kid. Seems like he's got a good head on his shoulder. Seems like he's got a really good heart as well. Let's get on to the next one. I apologize for bringing that one back up. We've got OG Bambino says, love your channel, bro. Keep up the solid work. You are awesome, and it shows off. Thank you so much for that, man. Listen, we appreciate all of that type of support, man. I mean, it's been such a long journey. It's a whole lot of work. And obviously, P's not joining us today because he is currently working. But, hopefully we can end up doing this thing full time. If y'all just continue to support us how y'all are doing, we're trending towards that. And I think that we will, I think that we'll get there at some point, so we're just going to keep on chugging. But thank you so much for that. That's definitely humbling to see. We've got Mobster 311 says, always enjoy your channel. Thank you for that as well, sir. That's really big for us, again, just to hear those types of things. Now, I want to talk about a couple more things because we've got a few more minutes. Let's talk about what I think the starting depth chart will be. I've talked about this before, but I want to bring this up real quick just because I believe that we are going to release an official one on Monday. I just want to go back to what I think is going to be. Y'all tell me what y'all think about it. So this is starting off with the offense. Obviously, Nico will be the starter at quarterback. I've got Gaston backing him up. Running back, Dylan Sampson, and this is just for week one. I think that it might change by the Oklahoma game. So week 4, we could see a little bit of a difference in some of these spots. But I mean, listen, D-Samp is a dog. He's gonna start for the entire season. But I think that we will rotate a lot. Something that I took away from listening to Coach Halsley yesterday is he's talking about, hey, we typically rotate 3 guys. We want to do 3 to 4. That's what I was hoping to hear. We need to do that just because it's a longer season. get more bodies in there. I think really our entire running back room can play. So, it's not a huge deal who's starting. I feel like inside this room, people will get their opportunities, and we're going to ride that hot hand, like Coach Halsey said. Now for tight end, I think that Ethan Davis does get to start. This is another room that we will rotate, hold, and stays. I think, I've heard some great things about him. He's another one that you definitely trust. And then Miles Kitselman, he's been really good. Also, I think Charlie Browder is a guy that we will want to work in. Why not rotate 3 to 4 or even 5 at that position if you can? Like, why not do that? Just keep everyone fresh. It's a very long season. Now for the offensive line, Lance Hurd, I have him at left tackle. I've got Larry Johnson backing him up. And then at left guard, I've got Andre Carrick. And then Sham backing him up. Center, obviously, Cooper Mays and Bison Lane. Right tackle, John Campbell. And then I've got Dane Davis behind him. Now, Dane Davis is probably going to be the swing guy to back up. If we have one spot that's out, especially early in the season, Dane Davis will probably be the guy to plug that spot up. Back to left guard, I think we'll rotate a whole lot at that position. Right guard is going to be Spraggs, and it's going to be Aiden Bustle. But it could also be Spraggs and then maybe Jackson Lampley. We've got some good depth here, y'all. Right here, wide receiver, I'm going to go with Brew, Squirrel, and Brazel. I don't think that you can really lose just because we've got a ton of depth there as well. So offense, man, it should be a whole lot of fun. I think we're going to get back to kind of like that 2022 season. I think that the tempo is going to be in place. Something else that I've kind of thought about is at some points I would love to see us slow things down and not always just have the pedal to the metal. I think we need to find a way to do that, especially when we're up. Eat up some of that clock. There's no need to just go, full gas all the time if we're up by 28 points. Speed the game up by slowing down our tempo. That's just my opinion. And right here, when we've got a super chat, and this is from G8 City Blue Devil for $20.24. I guess that's symbolizing 2024. I love that. It says go big orange. Hey, thank you so much for that. Y'all already know that we love and appreciate all the support. We're going to play the clip for you. Thank you for that, my brother. Absolutely love it. So let's move on over right here to the defense real quick. Obviously, and Leo, listen, that entire defensive line, which we're going to see on the left side of the screen, listen, loaded, right? It really doesn't matter who's starting because it's not a ton of drop-off. It's really barely any drop-off, like 3 to 4 deep. We're coming in waves. So James Pierce starting at Leo. Then we've got Joshua Joseph right behind him. I think he's going to have a major breakout year. And then, we've got several more. Listen, Caleb Herring is a dog. Jordan Ross is going to be a dog up front for us. He's going to make a whole lot of plays. That Rabbits package, listen, oh my gosh. I cannot wait. To see how our front looks. Let's move on to the strong side, defensive end. We've got Dominic Bailey maybe as the starter. Then we've got Jason Jenkins. Then we've got Tyree Weathersby. We also have Tyree West. We've got several guys who can do it right here as well. I wonder what Kellen Lindstrom gives us. I don't think that Carson Gentle will play much this season. But I do feel like we will see him maybe versus UT Chat. But we've got so many people up front. How do you get everyone in? We'll probably get, they'll probably average like 2 to 3 reps in that game just because I think that we will rotate so much. Now for defensive tackles, we've got Big O. Then we've got Omar Norman Lott, got Bryson Eason, Big E, David Hobbs, Jackson Moy, filthy. Nathan Robinson. Yeah, that front's going to be crazy. Let's take a look at the linebackers. At Mike, we have Keenan Pilley. As long as he can stay healthy, he's going to be one of the best linebackers in this league. I can promise you that. He's a veteran. He's like 25 years old. He's played a ton of football. And man, he's a really good athlete. He's huge. He's like 6'3", almost 6'4", 243 pounds, cut a little bit of weight to get a little bit faster, and probably also stay healthy. But man, that grown man strength goes a long way playing in the trenches, playing up front, playing in that front seven, I should say, especially in the SEC. Then I've got Jeremiah Telander right behind him. We already know what he brings to the table. He was one of our best linebackers. If not, maybe, I would say maybe our overall best linebacker last year between him and Aaron Beasley, who was banged up some. But those were really our 2 most consistent guys the entire year. So, yeah, he's going to come in and be able to spell Peely or get into some different sets and formations, down the distance, all that. He's going to help us out tremendously. Definitely gets the game on a really high level. Then at will, I've got Arion Carter expecting a huge breakout year from him. 6'1", 230, 34 pounds, something like that. And I think that he's a 4-4 guy. He moves really, really fast. He's very explosive. We're seeing so many clips of him just being fired up all the time. It's kind of like that old school throwback linebacker that we're used to at the University of Tennessee. Expect for him to eat a lot and make some major plays for us this season. I think this entire group right here takes a huge step forward from last season. Then behind Arion Carter, I'm going to have Caleb Perry. Trust him a whole lot. He's another bigger guy, about 6'3", 6'4", 240 pounds. One of the faster guys on this entire team. One of the faster guys inside of this linebacker room. We're just so athletic. We're so long. We're so deep there that it's going to be fun, y'all. Like, just watching us play defense is going to be fun. Primarily, people think of Tennessee right now as an offensive team, which, I mean, yeah, we are. But we're also a defensive team. I think that our defense, might kind of steal the show in some of these games. You know what I mean? Which, that's saying a whole lot, just because I feel like we will average over 40 points a game with Nico at the helm. So, yeah, that's a really deep room. We also have Jalen Smith, Edwin Spillman. I really love what they've been doing. Eli Purcell is another one that looks really good inside of that room. Now for cornerback, Jamal McCoy, shutdown lockdown guy. Ricky Gibson, shutdown lockdown guy. Two of the best cornerbacks in this league right now. I'm telling y'all. Okay, we've been telling y'all since what, like spring, since really after the season ended. We told y'all this is what's coming. Okay, we've got two shutdown guys. We haven't seen it up in Rocky Top in a very long time. You got to be excited about that. Then we've got Jalen McMurray. I like him a whole lot as well. I've heard some really good things about him. And then, man, listen, Jordan Matthews, I think, because I've heard, especially like Jason Swain, he said, man, look, I love his game. Of course, we trust what Swain has to say. He knows ball, okay? He understands it. He played wide receiver, so he knows it when he sees it. I think that Jordan Matthews is another one that, man, you could put in several different spots. And with his length, with his footwork, with his hips, with his speed, all of that, he can be another one. So, yeah, I think that room is really, really deep as well. Also, star position, okay? We've got Christian Harrison and Boot Carter. I think that they're going to rotate a ton. I don't know who's going to end up being the starter throughout the entire season once we get into SEC play, but that's one to watch closely. I trust him. Several people here, too, with all of our secondary that I feel like could play at the star position at a really high level. So let's keep that in mind. Of course, you hate it for Jordan Thomas, but, if there was any spot that I feel like maybe we could, it wasn't as big of a deal for us to have a player go down that we thought would be starting. It was that star position. So at free safety, I've got Andre Turrenton starting, maybe Christian Charles behind him, then Idris Farouk. Then at strong safety, I've got Jacoby Thomas starting, then Will Brooks. Then I've got John Slaughter. We'll see. We'll see how everything plays out. We're getting real close, y'all. We're getting very, very close to it starting up. I don't see it has not started up just yet, but we're almost there. Let's take a look at a few more of these chats. Right here. Okay, so I missed this one from a member. This is from K. Patterson, says Josh Heupel is demonstrating a blueprint for building an elite program. No doubt, he's definitely doing that. This could not be any more proud of what this entire staff is doing. Right here, we've got Chatsworth 1979. What's going on, Chatsworth? Says upvote pound 40. All right, appreciate that. And then we've got Adultish Gambino. I like that one. Says LG. Looking a little, I don't know what that's supposed to mean, if that's like a work symbol or what, but okay. All right. Let's move on to the next one. See what we got right here. All right, so we've got GoVol Nat 3.1993 says, Blue, we like you because you're for the fans, by the fans. We enjoy this content. You aren't an expert insider like the guys at TV. You're a fan just like us. That said, you should do a show with Boog. Thank you so much for that. Yeah, so I have done a show before with Boogie Bentley, and I don't know what happened there. They came out. I had several people were sending us messages, things like that, saying that sending us clips and all this, saying that for whatever reason they were upset with us. From what I could gather, it sounds like Boogie felt like we weren't promoting their channel enough here. I don't understand that because he's not paying us, and we're a much smaller channel than they are. But at the same time, if y'all have watched us for a while, y'all know that we've talked about everyone's channel, and we don't look at any of this type of stuff as competition because we're all Vol fans, like you just said. But yeah, I don't know if that would ever happen. You never say never, but there's something going on there that I can't quite make heads or tails of. But yeah, so we'll just get that out there because I know some of y'all might have been wondering, but some of y'all probably already knew because y'all are the ones who kind of informed me. And we are getting real close. Looks like we're about a minute away, but we are almost there. So I do have my eyes on it. As soon as it comes up, we're going to switch it on over. Right here, we've got Thomas Mitchell saying this channel is awesome and full of good info. Just hate we missed on Pilates. Yeah, thank you so much for that, man. Thank y'all for all those kind words. Yeah, so Jaden, I still feel like he's a player that I don't think that it's fully over. And I've told y'all that for the longest time. That's a signing day thing. I think that he does really like USC. I'm happy for him wherever he goes. I'm going to be happy for him. But he's a dog. He's a really good player. Would love to be able to add him to this class. I just don't know if at this point, if the staff is still going to pursue him, because I feel like we might be getting very close to our limit at linebacker. And you know what? Okay, so it has not started yet. There was one more thing that I wanted to show y'all here real quick. If y'all didn't see this, this is just David Sanders. He kind of walked in. So they played last night, and he just kind of walked in and looked like a professional. Had on all his Vols stuff. Y'all can see he's got the power T on the side of his helmet. That looks like they're about to start their pregame stuff. And I believe that was Leo Delaney who was dapping up. We also think he will be coming on home in the 2026 class. On this play, he's blocking Aiden Harris, who is a 4-star player in the 2026 class. Looks really good right there. And there's also a clip, I think it's coming up here in just a minute, where he's playing defense. Now I heard that he was also, here it is. So he's playing defensive end. Look at this man right here getting after the passer. He's a phenomenal athlete. This is what P and I was talking about. But yeah, I mean, he's going to be very, very special. Still waiting on things to get going. Let me make sure that I'm not late to the party. Okay. Had to refresh that page, but it still isn't up. So as soon as it does come up, we're going to take y'all right on over. But I think that having a guy like David Sanders coming in who's trying to get players like Kendra Harrison, that's his teammate, like what he's talked about. Leo, he's an offensive tackle in the 2026 class, very highly rated. He might end up being a 5-star player. Him, going out trying to add them. I think that, man, we're gonna be loaded for years to come. But I definitely want to bring that one up. Let's see, what else do we have right here out of the chat. We've got from Tim Dewberry. What's going on? Tim says, thank you for the hard work you do. Go Vols. Can't wait for the season to start. I see we are wearing the new smoky gray uniforms for the Chattanooga game. Yeah, that should be, I like those jerseys. I know some people don't, obviously, with the old school, orange jerseys, white jerseys that we used to wear. You love those. Those are classics, but I don't mind kind of switching things up. For me, that black and orange, those are the most beautiful jerseys. Also like that cream color for the baseball team. I actually think that the baseball team's jerseys look better than the football teams. That's just my opinion. But yeah, I mean, that should be fun. Right here. Okay, so Go Vols Nat 3, 1993 says the same thing. Let's see if we can get to some new people who have not kind of been included right here. We'll go ahead and get to this one. This is from GA City Blue Devil says, okay. I'm tripping. Gate City Blue Devil. There we go. Mac McLung's high school. I went there a long time ago. Go Vols. Okay. That's dope to hear. Thank you for fixing me on that. Adolphus Gambino, still my favorite Smokey. Bought one as soon as they hit the shelves. Yeah, let's you know what? I know that y'all would hate this, but I wouldn't mind seeing us get to some of those cream colored jerseys like the baseball team has. I mean, I would love to see that. I would love to be able to wear it. Let's get to a new person right here. We've got Justin Hall. Yeah, you mean Gate City. Yeah, so I don't know a whole lot about Gate City because I'm not from Tennessee. Tennessee is my father is from Tennessee, but I don't know a whole lot about all of that type of stuff. Let's see, what all do we have right here? Do we have any more that we have not gotten to? Okay, I see some things that we don't want to read live. Okay, so this one right here is from Adultish Gambino says, love me some Locked On Vols. I do too. I love all of the Vol channels. Like, I don't want y'all to think I'm ever throwing any shade. I love them. I love to watch the same content as y'all do. So, I would love it if we could all just kind of be on the same page and it's not, whatever the heck is going on sometimes. But CSK80 says, did anyone see Atkinson last night? Dude is a beast. Yeah, so I've actually seen Atkinson live because he plays at Grayson, and that's kind of close to where we live at. But yeah, I mean, he's a stud. There's another one that we call Deuce, and I can't think of his last name right now, but he plays at Collins Hill. If you want to talk about a defensive tackle body, man, he is a stud. I hope that we can land him. Great news for us as Tennessee fans. His head coach was my best friend growing up. That's my brother. He's a huge Tennessee fan. Okay, he is a huge Tennessee fan. So maybe he can steer him in the right direction. It's also the same high school that Ethan Davis went to. So we'll see what happens there. Let me make sure that I'm not missing, just because looks like it's taking this thing a little bit longer to get started. Okay. So I'm I'm just making sure. Okay, so you know what? So now it's gonna start at 12:45. Okay, so I see that they just updated that. All right, so we'll just keep on rocking and rolling. I've got some more stuff that we can get to. So I want to bring this up right here. As some of y'all might know, Nico just signed a NIL deal with Beats with the headphones, and he did get the entire team some headphones. We're gonna pull that up here. Hold on. Sorry.
Yo. Got y'all boys some beats, man. I love going to work with y'all boys. It don't start on Saturdays. It start right now with the work we put in right here, y'all. Let's go, y'all. Family on me, family on 3. 1, 2, 3. Family.
All right, so I had to mute this part of it just because there's music. Y'all already know with YouTube, there's monetization issues and things like that. But I think that this is so dope to see. And you can just tell, like, look at his teammates' faces. Look at how excited and happy everybody is. They love Nico, man. I think he's a great leader. But look at this, right? Look at Peyton Lewis. Look how big he is. That's a true freshman. And he might be the fastest player on this whole team. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's what we're doing. We're coming downhill with players like that. But yeah, if y'all have not seen this, I don't know. I don't remember exactly where I got it from. I want to say it was Vol Football on Twitter. So y'all can see it and y'all can hear what everyone's saying right here. John Campbell's freestyling. You see that him and Lance Hurd are, they're obviously close. This team, man, I think that this team is going to be special just because, man, we've got so many people that are just fully bought in. Look at Nico. He's just, boy, he's cool as a daggum cucumber. But yeah, so I love to see that. That's what the quarterbacks are supposed to do. Like, you're supposed to take care of not just your offensive line, but if you can, take care of your entire team. Trust when I tell you that just went a very long way. And doing it at this point in the season when we are, next week, we're going to be in game prep mode, right? Fully. So I think that just kind of, energizes our entire, roster, man. I think that is so dope for Nico to do. I don't know how much money he's making at this point, but he's making a whole lot of money. And I think that's a big part of why you come to Tennessee these days. Looks like we have a new member in the house. This is Adultish Gambino has become a member of our channel. Thank you so much for that. We appreciate it so much. And actually, we're going to play the clip for him. Thank you for that, man. And y'all can become members of this channel and get the exclusive content that we can't share on this side of YouTube. There's a whole lot of film breakdown with, individual players. Also, with our team. And coming up this season, we'll have a lot more just kind of talking about who we're going to be facing on a week-to-week basis. So, it's just a great way to support what we do. But you can become a member by clicking the join button just below this video. And also, whenever you join, you do become eligible to join us on our live streams on Saturdays. For those of y'all that may have missed it, if you are a member of this channel, or if you're a member of our Patreon, or if you've donated even as little as $1 to our Cash App, you can go on over there. The job form sign up link will be down in the description below. Y'all can click on that and y'all can start signing up right now. That is live. I also have like a little video just kind of walking you through everything. You'll see the step-by-step for all of it several times, just in case you kind of get hung up on some part of it. But I think that it's pretty straightforward. Hopefully it is pretty easy for everyone. But thank y'all so much for everything. Now let's see. Has it started up yet? Nope, has not started just yet. All right. So let's see. Okay, hold on. We might have somebody joining us here in just a second. Let me see if I can get this going. Give me just a second. Bear with me. I got to make sure. Let's put this in. Boom. Okay, so in just a minute, we could have oh no. Hold on 1 second. All right, here we go. So in just a minute, y'all, we might have Pete joining us here in just a second. I think he's gonna try to get on with us. Let's see. Right here from my dog T and Junior says, worth the change, y'all. Join us, go big orange. Thank you so much for that, man. I appreciate it so much. I really, really do. Shaggy says, I wonder how quickly those orange and white Beats headphones start showing up on eBay. You know what? That's a pretty interesting question. I don't think that they would do that. Now I could see that maybe happening, back before we had NIL, but at this point, everyone's making money on our roster. All the scholarship players, at least, everyone's making something. So they're not starving where they have to go sell things like that. I think that you keep that, especially knowing how special Nico's going to be. And that's something that you can show to your grandkids, or you can show that to anybody. Say, hey, yeah, these are the beats that Nico got me whenever I was part of the 2024 national championship football team, baby. So I think that those are special. But maybe we do see some. You just never know. Some people might do that. But I don't think we'll see too many of them. Let's see right here. Okay, this is dope. So we've got Adultish Gambino says that he has gifted 5 Bluechip Breakdown memberships. That's super cool, man. Thank you for that. And I don't know how that whole thing works, but I think that that's awesome that you would do that. Thank you. And we are going to be waiting to see if P can join us, if he's going to be able to jump in here shortly. But yeah, let's see what else can we pull up, because I think that I've got a few more things on here. Let's see. I think I've got a couple more things. Nope, that's pretty much it. Actually, you know what I do? Something that I would like to talk about that I don't have a graphic for, but I want to talk a little bit more about the safety position, because I know that there is some concern with it. And we talk a pretty good deal about it. Who's going to be the starter week 1? How much will we rotate? I think that, again, probably Jacoby Thomas, but also wouldn't be surprised if Will Brooks starts. Now, what I'm kind of taking away from all this is maybe the staff is just trying to push some of those other players to maybe step up some. Not to say that Will Brooks is a slouch. He was a former walk-on player. He could be a scholarship guy now. I think that he looked good in the games that he got to play in last season. But, I think that he's capable, right? I think that he's capable in a lot of situations. Where I'm the most concerned at is going to be if he gets isolated in one-on-one coverage, just because, man, you're going to be going up against some absolute dogs. And actually, it looks like P is in the house. We're going to go ahead and add him. What's going on,
baby? What up, man? I had a little break here at work, so I said, heck, let me try to hop on that thing.
Man, we absolutely love that, man. Thank you so much for joining us. But yeah, I was just talking about the safety room. Tell us what your thoughts are on that, Pete.
Yeah, safety room. At least heading into this season, I feel pretty decent about it. I think we have 3 guys we feel pretty comfortable with. Maybe 4. You want to say, Will Brooks, Turntine, Jacoby Thomas, and then obviously my guy John Slaughter, who I've been, the president of his fan club since he's been there. So I like that room behind them. I think it's going to be guys that like Boo Carter, or guys that are just kind of cross-trained to play that position. But I think overall, man, it's a solid room. I'm interested to see who's going to be the guys. You know what I mean? What up, G White, my guy? What up, baby? But I'm just interested to see who's going to be the guys. Like who's going to be the ones taking the first reps. But we'll see. Sounds like it's going to be Turntine and Will Brooks. But I just find it hard to believe, man. Jacoby Thomas. He looks great out there. We've seen him making picks, in practice. What does he go, about 6'2", 205, 210? Like, I don't know how he's not starting, man. That's hard for me to believe.
Yeah, I think he might actually be bigger than that. I think he's closer to like 215 now, but maybe he is. But the whole thing is watching him back at Middle Tennessee State, man. Wow. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I was very impressed to see what he did versus Alabama. A lot of times, if you're playing on a team like Middle Tennessee State versus a really high caliber team or program like Alabama, you can tell who's got that dog in them, because they're out there making plays almost on their own. I saw a whole lot of that from him. So I am pretty confused as to why he's not, why he's not the surefire starter. That is a little bit concerning in my opinion. But, just kind of speculating here, P, I think that it could just be because, maybe we're just trying to push him or something for whatever reason. Maybe it's not him, maybe somebody else.
And I'll say this, because I believe I told you, I think we talked about this off air. I went back and watched Will Brooks against Georgia. What up, Big Court? What up, baby? Against Georgia, and he didn't look terrible. So he was playing star that game. He's a guy. He almost looks like a linebacker out there. He's pretty physical in the box. Like, he takes on blocks really well. So he's not. I think that him starting, a lot of people say, well, is that more of an indictment on the scholarship guys that are behind him, or is that more Will Brooks is just kind of that guy? And I think it's maybe more so that he's kind of that guy. Like,
that's an excellent point. That's an excellent point.
So I think he's a guy, but I'll say this too about heading into next year, into 2025 season. I know you're talking about the depth chart and how that room looks. I think that we're going to probably go after some guys in the portal, like you said. And I think after the year we're going to have this year, we should be able to get, if there is a Caleb Downs, which I don't think there is, but, I think we'll be able to get probably the number 1 or, a top 2 or 3 safety in the portal next year if we feel like we need to.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I think that I think that it's not just at that position, but pretty much all of them, right? Just especially if we come out, if we have a good season, like you said, Pete, we're going to be able to start hand selecting. I think this is something that you brought up on the previous line. Oh, here we go.
Nice.
Hold on. Okay, so we're about to get through it because it looks like it just pull up. Okay? All right, so we are about a minute and a half away, y'all. We're about to pull it up. And actually, P, I'm gonna let you take over here. Hey, you know what? Y'all let us know. Do y'all hear any echoes? I just want to make sure that there's not an echo with everything here. But you know what? I was gonna try to go grab those headphones, P, but it's all good. So just kind of getting back to my point, I think that if we can have a really good season, we'll be able to, we'll have those players start beating down the door to come to Tennessee. And we're going to have to be more selective. I think that we're very close to that. If we make the playoffs this season, or if we, make it to the national title, forget about it. It's going to be a reign of dominance because we're already pretty much dominating in several different factors. Mm-hmm. Not so much on the field, but coming up this season, if we can do that, then we've got everything.
Hey, what do you think? In the Vols quarters the other day, I saw AP and the whole staff they posted their season predictions. Everybody besides Grant Ramey said 10-2. I don't know if I agree with that. Who are they going to lose to? Alabama and Georgia? A lot of people saying Oklahoma. I don't.
Yeah, I don't understand that either. Hold on one second. Okay, so I apologize for that. So it was on. I hope that is better. All right, so now we should sound a whole lot better. But yeah, I don't understand that either, Pete. Like, I think the Oklahoma will present some challenges to us for sure. I mean, obviously you have to go out there and show it. It's a game on the road. It's an SEC game. We know that they're going to be rowdy. They're going to be loud. But I think that we're going to be just fine. And it looks like we are live right here. We're going to go ahead and bring this up.
In the class of 2025. Columbia, South Carolina, Heathwood Hall Episcopal cornerback Onis Konanbanny is set to share some big news and announce where he'll play his college ball. The 6'1", 180-pounder is ranked as a 3-star prospect in the 2025 class, the number 43 cornerback in America, and number 7 overall talent in the state of South Carolina. Last fall, Konanbanny racked up 20 total tackles and 6 pass breakups. He also tore it up all offseason on the 7-on-7 circuit. Offensively this past year, he racked up 238 total yards and 3 scores. On the recruiting front, Konanbanny has over 40 offers. He could go just about anywhere he wants across the country, but he's narrowed it down to 2 finalists. You've got Florida State and Tennessee. But before we get into that, let's bring Onis Konanbanny in to talk about his recruitment and eventually learn about his recruitment commitment destination.
Hey, what's up? What's up?
Onis, what's up, my man? How we doing?
I'm doing good. How you doing?
Doing great, man. Thanks for joining us today. Set the stage, man. How does it feel to finally be here on Commitment Day?
It feels good. It feels good. I've been waiting for this moment my whole life. So yeah, it feels good. I'm excited and I'm ready.
I already mentioned the 2 finalists. You got Florida State, you got Tennessee. So let's dive into them. What is it about Florida State that has the Seminoles in the mix for you down the stretch?
Coach Novell. Coach Novell is a great coach. Coach Pat Satan, I think one of the best DB coaches in the world. Coach Fuller, great guy. They've come to see me at school. I went to see them, and they treated my family amazing, on the OV. So that's why they're up there. And then the degree really means a lot after football.
And then with Tennessee, what is it about the Volunteers that has them in contention?
Tennessee was my first one. They were my first love. Ever since I visited there, my first college visit, I've just been in love with that place, in love with the coaching staff, and they've been real to me and have been taking care of me ever since. So, yeah, that's why I like Tennessee too.
All right, it's about that time. The floor is yours. Take a breath. Go ahead and tell everybody watching at home where you're headed to continue your academic and athletic career.
Okay, for the next 3 to 4 years on my college football career, I'll be committing to the University of Tennessee.
Yes, sir. Let's go, baby.
Let's go.
Another big win for Tennessee. Konanbanny is commit number 24 for the Volunteers, and according to the 24/7 Sports team composite recruiting rankings, Tennessee is battling Auburn for that top 5 spot. It's going to be fun to watch in the coming months. But Onis, what was it that tipped the scales for the Volunteers?
I think it started with Tennessee. It's going to end with Tennessee. Everything about the program, Coach Happel, Coach Martinez, the place. I just love the place. Everything about it is just top notch. That's why it's really my number one.
Can you share with everybody the moment behind the scenes when you actually told the Tennessee staff that you wanted to come play there?
On my OV, told them This is why I want to come in. We all knew. So yeah.
And then with defensive backs coach Willie Martinez and defensive coordinator Tim Banks, tell me a little bit about that relationship you have with those guys and why it impacted you in a positive way.
Great relationship. They've been like fathers to me, big brothers to me on the team. So they've impacted my life. I've taken their advice on everything when I have a little problem. So so they've impacted my life a big part of my life. So yeah, that's why I'm trusting them in my future.
And lastly, for all the Tennessee fans watching at home, what are the Volunteers getting in Onis Konanbanny, both as a player but also as a person?
Again, a great person that cares about the community. That's gonna show out. Day one, I'm gonna come in, show out, and hard work. Do some charity work outside of football, and just be nice to everybody. And they're getting an international London. We've been rebuilding the bridge over here. Like we gonna send some more London people to Tennessee. So it's just a bridge. It's a bridge right now in the making. But I'm coming. We're gonna win a 90. Yeah, we got a great class coming in. So yeah, go Vols.
London to Knoxville. Gotta love it. Onis, thank you again for sharing your big day, your moment with 24/7 Sports. We appreciate it and wish you nothing but the best, both as a senior, but also your future at Tennessee.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you so much.
That wraps it up for another.
Hey, give me a shirt, mate. Say we're gonna win a 90. I love that, man. I love it.
Hey, man. That is so dope just to see. So I think he might be our third international player on this roster. We've got Jackson Ross, who I think is the best punter in the entire country, right? I mean, he's gonna, like, we talk a lot about who can go onto the league. He's one that I think will go onto the league and play for a while. He's also got one of the Colquitts up there coaching him and stuff. I heard that here recently. So that's dope. But he's from, I believe, Australia. And then we've got Emmanuel Okoye, who is from the UK as well, by way of Nigeria, if I'm not mistaken. So now having three international players, whoever our GM, so to speak, inside of the inside of that front office, man, they're doing a phenomenal job of not just scouring this country or even just the South, but the entire globe for talent. So I think that we've got to feel really good about what we're doing right now, as a program. Period. Pete.
Yeah, man, I agree, man. It's a beautiful thing to watch, man. I think Onis is a big time guy. Still new to football. Things only playing for a couple of years, but he has the size, probably closer to 6'2" than he is to 6'1". I mean, he's probably 6'1" 3/4. Probably goes about 200 pounds already in high school. I mean, we're talking about a 6'2", 200-pound corner who's only been playing football for about 2 years. This guy's extremely raw, but extremely athletic. I mean, the sky's the limit. Can Martinez and Banks, can those guys coach him up so he can reach his full potential? Because I think he has all the tools. He can be a really special player. I think he's a developmental guy. I'm not expecting him to come in here year one and be a guy. He may be. Heck, he may. I'm not going to put it past him. But I think, give him some time to develop, learn the game, adjust to the level of competition that he'll see in the SEC. But he's a big-time pickup, man, a guy that a lot of people wanted. And he came home to the good guys.
Absolutely. Yeah. He's only been playing football for, not very long, right? And I think that he started playing in the UK. I do see some people down in the chats asking where's his accent from. So he was born in France and then he moved, or he grew up in the UK. And he started playing football over there in secondary school. And I don't know at what point in secondary school he did start to play, but secondary school over there is like middle school and high school. So, he moves on over to the States. He goes to a boarding school in Georgia for 2 years. Then he moves up to South Carolina. I don't know. I'm not sure that he played some type of football here in Georgia. That I'm sure that helped him out a whole lot. But, going on up to South Carolina, I believe that's when he really started to play true American organized football. So he's still very new, very raw. But I said that he looks like a natural cornerback. He looks like a natural secondary player. For him to be so raw and to be so natural, his ceiling is through the freaking roof, right?
Yeah, for sure. And I was gonna comment on his accent too. It's like a UK with a little bit of a southern twang to it. He's kind of drawing his words out. So I mean, love his accent. But yeah, I agree with what you said, man. He's a natural corner, but he's definitely a guy that could grow into a safety. I mean, he's already 200 pounds. I mean, getting into a college weight room, does he put on another 10, 15, 20 pounds? And now he's all of a sudden 6'2", 220, and he's can cover like a corner, hit like a linebacker. I mean,
star.
Sky's the limit. Yeah, so he's going to be a guy. Give him some time. He's going to develop. He's going to be a big time play. So this is a great job of the staff finding this guy, getting him early, locking him down. And I'm not sure when his official visit was. I'm not sure if it was the weekend when everybody came up or if it was a little bit after that. but he said he
I
committed.
want to say that it was.
Yeah.
Or
Okay.
you know what? Actually, he might. I'm trying to
I kind of feel like he might have came like the week after or something like that. I'm not sure. If anybody knows, let us know.
I think he was up the same week that Marion Dow was up there.
Yeah, I think so.
I want to say.
I think so too. Yep. So that's been. I mean, I don't know when that was, but it's been probably at least a month or so since then. So
yeah,
he's been committed for a while and kept it under wraps. And this is good for him to finally announce it. Let's just hold on this class. We'll see what this does to our rankings. You know, and I know a lot of people were kind of asking this question, I think, last week, as far as like what goes into the ratings. And I'm not sure. I think you talk about this on one of your videos too, is we don't really know what goes into their formula, but the fact that he's only like an 89 or whatever, and that does bring our average down, that's not going to hurt our overall ranking, in my opinion. I think because he still adds points, even though he may be lower than average, he still adds points to our total is the way.
So you know what, P? I'm pulling that up now. I'm about to pull it up now. But you know what? I kind of looked at it the same way. Let's see if we can find it right here. Okay. So this is how it's starting off. Okay. And it starts off like this. Usually it's like so we moved from 5th to 6th nationally, and we moved from 4th to 5th in the SEC. But I think that for whatever reason, after like a day or two, it moves again. So I don't know how they're doing this. But to your point, P, that really the average rating shouldn't necessarily impact our overall rating. See what I'm saying? Like, I don't know how.
Because if I only get one recruit and he's a 98 overall, you can't put me higher than a team that, right? You know what I'm saying? You can't put me higher than a team that has 30 recruits and we're averaging 92. You know what I mean? So I'm not sure it goes into it either. But it's hard for me to imagine we move down with the commitment. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense. But y'all can see, man, this class is loaded. This is a really, really nice class. Let's see. Onis comes in right behind Jack Van Dorselier and right ahead of Sidney Walton. Again, man, we take all this stuff with a grain of salt. But, yeah, I mean, I think that we are going to be just fine moving forward for sure. Either way, it really does not matter where we ultimately end up ranked at. I mean, I guess it does matter just because of the optics, things like that. But what really matters is how good these players are on the field. How well can we teach them and train them, and can we get them to their max potential? This staff has shown and proved that's what they're great at. So huge pickup for our volunteers, and we will have his film breakdown coming out here very, very shortly. Look out for that within the hour. But that's going to be it, P. I know that you got to get back to work. So thank y'all so much for tuning in. We appreciate all of the support so much. Y'all are awesome. We love y'all. Please make sure to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, share with your friends, family, and other volunteer fans. We'll see y'all in just a minute. Thanks. Peace.